We are pleased to present the first gridded release of 2025. Let's first have a look at the Radial Profile Tool. You find it under the Profile Tools, choose Radial Profile, and there you can select a monopile layer and select the specific monopile that you want to investigate. I'll add some bathymetry here for the reference, and then I can change the diameter. Here, 100 meter looks okay. I can increase the amount of lines for the profile. Here I set it to 4 profile lines, and I can change the interval. I can choose to have the profiles from the bathymetry visible on the map, or from all bathymetry. And here you see the result for Profile 1. And now I change it to all bathymetry layers and regenerate the profile. And now I can switch between different profile lines here. So I'm now looking at number 3. You can also use the arrow buttons to go through the different profiles. And if you hover your cursor over the lines, it will interactively show you the values. Next, I want to show you how to draw a profile for a selected line feature. Go to the Profile Tools and I choose Cable Pipeline Profile. And I'm going to select an infield cable S1. In yellow, it's now selected, and I can modify the KP section with the slider. Or by typing the values KP start and KP end. So here I can choose between visible on map and all bathymetry. Generate the result. I can also select a specific line in the map. And then click the Line Profile tool from this panel. And here we see the result. In a similar way, you can do this also for any line. So I select here a line at the Borsale Alpha platform. And I go to the Line Profile. And there it will just use this selected section. And there we see the result. We can also use freehand profiles. Go to the Profile tool and select Map Profile. Now you can draw profile lines over your bathymetry. And each node will get a letter, and that will also show up in the curve. So here we see from A to D the bathymetry, and you can zoom and pan in the graph. You can see the movement of the cursor also in the map. You can simply move the nodes to adjust the profiles. It also has the option to export the profile to CSV files. Another nice tool is the Raster calculator. So you can use this button, Calculate Raster, and you can use layers or fixed values to modify layers. Here I will use 2 layers, and I'm going to calculate the difference between bathymetry 2022 and bathymetry 2023. I use the subtract operator. And here you can give the name of the result layer. Choose the layer group where you want to save the result. Click Calculate. And the new result layer is added. You can modify the legend and set it to difference. As of this release, it is possible to calculate the change in cover. The tool works similarly to the standard burial assessment tool. Select the burial assessment difference tool and then choose a cable or pipeline. Here, I choose S1. And then you can choose bathymetry of layer A and bathymetry of layer B. I chose here 2 different years, and then you can set the criteria for the thresholds for the differences in the legend. You can select the KPs. You can base the interval on KPs or on a fixed distance. And when you click Generate, it will create the result. And here we see the result. So the line gets the colors of the legend for the differences. So here is mostly no difference or small negative difference. And you can here also expand the legend. And here we have a spot with a big difference and big negative difference. In the panel on the right side, you can see the information about this specific selected segment. You can see the cable name, the KP start, KP end, and the status, which in this case is big negative, which means here larger or equal than 1 meters. GRIDit now also allows easy upload of shapefiles. I can zip the files belonging to a shapefile. And if I click the plus button in the Layers panel, I can choose Add Layer, and I can then drop the zip file in this space. And there I can adjust the title of the layer, put it in the layer group where I want it, and adjust other parameters. When I click Create, the layer is added. It takes some time to process, but after when it arrives, you will see the result on the screen. We can simply copy the style from another layer and paste it to our imported layer, so we'll have the same legend. We can easily update layers by clicking Edit. And here under Style, you can now also export the styles or import styles from a style file. Another useful functionality here is clustering. In our file, we have a lot of points close to each other, and we can cluster features based on a cluster distance. A cluster distance of 20 means that points within 20 meters of each other will be clustered. With cluster minimum distance, you can define the minimum distance between clusters. Let's have a look at the result. And here we see that the points are more readable and not overlapping. Now users have the option to add media files and link them to a feature, a point line, or area on the map. This can be done either via the Information tool after selecting the feature or via the Attribute table. Here it loads the Attribute table, and I'm looking for the Rec 1723 point. And now it's selected. I can zoom to the point. I can edit the attribute table. Or I can select the point here in the map. Can go to the Media tab, and there click the plus to add files. There are 3 ways. I can upload files, or I can choose existing files from the project, or I can add links. Let's use existing files and click Next. Here I can choose project files. These are files that have been uploaded to the project. For example, this one. Click Next, check it, and then click Finish. Now the picture has been added to our point. In a similar way, I can add documents from my hard disk. Select Upload File. Here I can drag and drop the 2 PDF files. Click Next, check the result, and click Finish. Now we see that we have a picture and 2 documents, and they can be nicely visualized. These files are stored in your project. In the left panel, you can choose Files, and there you can see the files that are stored in your project. You can also browse subfolders and manage your files here. We can also adjust attributes. Click Edit and go to the Attributes tab. Here the user has the option to make the attributes searchable via the search bar, or choose if the attributes are visible in the attribute table or not. You can also set an alias for the fields. Users now also have the option to manage the layers in a data portal. This gives the user an overview of all data available and the option to manage the layers efficiently. You can see the layer names, the styles to which layer group it belongs, and the file name. If you select a layer, there are certain actions. You can upload, add a group, move to a group, download the layer, or delete the layer. If you choose download, then you can choose from different versions to download or export the layer as an image. We can also use a 3D view. Select the layer you want to view in 3D. You can navigate with the mouse. Click this button to see more options. You can change the field of view, adjust the point budget, modify the eye dome lighting by changing the radius or the strength, modify the opacity, change the background, and adjust the splat quality. There are also tools to do measurements, to clip your task, or to use different navigation methods.